Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics. And in this season of election in Nigeria, we are concentrating on the presidential election, which is coming up next year. And as I keep saying, the presidential election in Nigeria produces a president that is arguably the most powerful president in the world. This is because this is a president that has so much power, much more power than even the president of the United States. You can see that if you look at the United States of America, there were so many things that President Donald Trump wanted to do, but he couldn't do it because he's not as powerful as the president of Nigeria. Of course, Nigeria's presidents also have their own limitations, but in every scale you look at it, the president of Nigeria is far more powerful than the president of America in terms of what could be accomplished if you want to accomplish it. That is why the 2023 presidential election is more important than every other position that are being contested for. Now, as a result of this channel pays serious attention to the presidential election. Now, there is an issue that came up, which has to do with the recent travel of Peter Obi to meet with Nigerians in Diaspora. And this has to do with what Reno Omokri tweeted. And this Reno Omokri, as you all know, used to be the presidential aide to President Goodluck Jonathan. And right now, he is working as one of the spokespersons or one of the media communicators of the presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Himself is operating from the diaspora. So he criticized Peter Obi's travel to interact with Nigerians in diaspora. This is what he wrote in his Twitter handle. He said, what has been the benefit of Peter Obi going around foreign countries? It only shows political naivety. Sadly, diaspora Nigerians can't vote. Wise candidates are in Nigeria consulting Nigerians who can vote. It is only when they win that they do an international tour. That is the position of Reno Omokri. Now, before I go into analysis of his position, which he put on his Twitter handle, if you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Reno Omokri is fixated with Peter Obi. And I know that this is because Peter Obi is a major contender in this forthcoming election. And sometimes Reno Omokri makes himself look stupid in the sense that it appears he doesn't think out some of the things he tweets out. It's just like he tweets on impulse, because if he does true reasoning, he wouldn't have made this kind of post about the travels of Mr. Peter Obi and trying to belittle the importance of it. This is because in the first place, he was talking about that the other presidential candidates are at home and consulting. Who are they consulting? The other presidential candidates are to manage the crisis they have created. Because look at what Atiku is passing through, the presidential candidate of PDP. He created a crisis in PDP by destroying the zoning arrangement and using dollar in to capture the PDP and capture the ticket, claiming that only presidential candidate that could win the election that PDP should produce. In other words, he was saying that if you bring a presidential candidate from Southeast or South or from Southern Nigeria, where there was clamor that the next president should come from, there is no guarantee they will win. So now that they threw the thing open and he emerged, he is now trying to make amends because there are so many people unhappy with his emergence, and it will reflect in the coming election. So he is busy managing all those crises and fallouts from the poor decisions he took after emerging the presidential candidate of PDP. As well, Bola Tinubu is also somewhere else managing his the crisis he's created as a result of his Muslim gambit, and also because of the manner he emerged as the presidential candidate of the party. So he has so much thing they are grappling with. Okay? Now, while they were grappling with this, Peter Obi is not in the same problem like they were. And even at that, you hardly see them in public, but we will come to that. Now, while Peter Obi has been out of the country, if you notice, and somebody like Reno Omokri ought to know because he's always on social media, so he ought to have known that since Peter Obi left the country to speak with the Nigerians in diaspora, several millions of Nigerians have been marching all over the states, including in eastern Nigeria, south Nigeria, southwest Nigeria, and including the northern Nigeria. Because as I speak with you now, a million-man march is going on in Taraba State and other states. So that Peter Obi is not around in the country has not stopped consultations, have not stopped the obedient movement to be waxing strong, even in his absence. What does it tell you? It shows you that a leader who is capable of running the show, even when he's not around, it means he already has the structures that people think he didn't have. Because if you can be out of the country and millions of Nigerians are marching all over the whole country in your support, I cannot see anything better than that as an expression of a man who has done his whole work better than the other presidential candidates. And mind you, these people who are moving all over the place, marching in his support, he didn't pay them cover. He didn't have to mobilize them with financial resources. These are Nigerians spending their own money, spending their own data, spending their own resources to put their mouth, to put their money where their mouth is, because they appreciate the candidate that they are supporting. They are not waiting for him to give them money. For you to see any million-man march for Atiku or for Tinubu in any part of Nigeria today, it must be heavily paid for or subsidized by Atiku himself or Bola Tinubu. So that should be enough to tell Reno Omokri and those who think like him that statement doesn't hold any water at all. That even though Peter Obi is not in the country, he is actually in the country, because the structure he set up is still working. And what is the structure? The structure he kept talking about was the 100 million Nigerians, impoverished Nigerians. They are the ones marching all over the streets. They are the ones who are the structures of his party. Let us see those who will march for Bola Tinubu or Atiku Abubakar without being paid. Now, another issue he talked about is that Peter Obi is consulting with the diaspora that cannot vote. Of course, that the diasporas cannot vote is a minus for Nigeria. If smaller countries like Kenya, Ghana can allow diaspora voting, there is a need for diasporas to vote. But even at that, consulting the diaspora is not a waste of time. It is actually strategic. This is because in the past 3 years, the diaspora community, Nigerian diaspora in Europe and America and elsewhere, have returned to this country over $60 billion. Right now, the diaspora finance coming into the country is even higher than what we are getting from oil, from crude oil that we export. Now, this diaspora community, they are funding several projects around Nigeria. They are building houses, they are buying estates, they are investing in several sectors of Nigerian economy. Now, many of them are also employing several Nigerians who are working in all those projects. It shows you one thing, which Reno Omokri deliberately failed to notice, that these Nigerians in diaspora are influencers. If they can bring in over $60 billion into Nigeria, they could be able to influence where Nigerians vote. They have relations, they have brothers and sisters, they have companies, organizations that they set up in Nigeria that they can influence on the direction they should vote on the election day. So that is also very strategic, because those Nigerians abroad, many of them have the resources, so they can even use their own funding to influence elections in Nigeria by dictating how the money they are sending is going to be used to further the political agenda that they are supporting. Being such high-level influencers, they can determine where Nigerians vote. So it is important they are consulted. And anybody who can get their buy-in has not done anything wrong, has not done anything that deserve condemnation. They need, for such a person, need to be applauded for what he had done, for his foresight. So Peter Obi needs to be applauded for seeing the potential in Nigerians in diaspora. And as I said, Nigerians in diaspora are major contributors to the economy of Nigeria, and you cannot diminish their contributions. So consulting them is important. Don't forget, it is through this kind of consultancy that some of the diaspora groups have promised to contribute about $150 million for his campaign. And they are also ready to contribute 100 billion naira for his campaign. Now, this is what is needed for his campaign. After all, they used to say that Peter Obi and Labour Party don't have the financial resources to match them, even though some of the APC and PDP so-called resources they have are actually looted resources from public treasury. Now, Peter Obi is going in a legitimate way to seek for funding, and he's getting positive response. There has never been any place he went to in Europe, in America, where he didn't get positive response from Nigeria. So that is a positive for Peter Obi. It's not a negative. So Reno Omokri is wrong on that. He got it wrong totally. So it's a very good thing that he embarked on this journey. You don't have to embark on this journey when he becomes president. That was how Buhari was elected president of Nigeria. It took him almost more than almost a year to be able to form a cabinet to run his government. Peter Obi, by going around now, means he's getting ready to hit the ground running from day one, whereby you don't have to waste time to start running the country. Because given the fact that the country is in dire strait, you don't need a president who after he has been elected, he will not be junketing around the whole globe looking for attention. And one of the important gains of this is that you can see that in his recent travel, he was able to speak with the European Union. He was able to speak with the Director General of World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, our own Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, so that and they rub minds on how to revitalize the economy of this country if Peter Obi emerges president. That is how it is done. You prepare yourself, equip yourself. If you have to go to anywhere, to any length, if you have to go to China, if you have to go to Canada, anywhere you have to go to equip yourself for leadership so that you can hit the ground running when the opportunity comes. What Peter Obi is doing is actually the right thing to do, and he should be applauded. Then another important thing to note is that he's talking about, Reno Omokri is talking about other candidates reaching out. None of them have reached out to the level of Peter Obi. Peter Obi have reached out so many people, and it is reflecting in the benefits he's enjoying today. He is probably the most accessible presidential candidate in Nigeria today. Peter Obi have been granting live interview almost on a daily basis, from Arise to AIT to channels to radio stations. Right here in Abuja, he did he had appeared live at Brekete Family Radio Station, one of the most popular radio stations in Abuja. And he was grilled by Nigerians, and they found him worthy to the level that even the Brekete family listed him among the candidates they would be ready to buy presidential form to contest the election. So Peter Obi is accessible. He has been talking to Nigerians. He has been speaking live, unlike tinubu and Atiku Abubakar, who only speaks through proxy, who cannot even stand live television interview or radio television interview. For them to grant interview, it has to be pre-recorded. The Atiku Abubakar interview with Arise Television was pre-recorded, and a lot of things edited out. But Peter Obi grants live interview, as is expected of a leader who knows his onions, who don't have to fear about making gaffes on his response to questions in live interview, because he knows what he wants, he knows what the country needs, and he knows he has the capacity to do it. He don't have to equivocate in terms of coming up with answers to the problems of Nigeria the way he understands it. It's not like Atiku Abubakar. His interview was pre-recorded. A lot of things that's supposed to be aired so that Nigerians will be able to really judge him was edited out before it was aired to Nigerians. As for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he only goes to pre-arranged events where he will be well protected because he's full of gaps, so that he don't talk himself into trouble. The Nigerian Bar Association conference that was held at his backyard, he couldn't attend it. It was an opportunity for him to be able to express himself, to sell himself, to tell Nigerians his mandate in the midst of some of the most highly intellectual Nigerians. He was found missing. So who is this corner? He attending burial ceremonies, attending birthdays. Is that how they consult? What else has Bola Ahmed done that is not pre-arranged events where he will not be really interrogated by the media? Where? When there was flooding in Jigawa State, he visited Jigawa State in a pre-arranged visit, and he went there to donate money. And you know that money he donated because of the forthcoming election. How many people has he donated money to in northern Nigeria all these years of flooding? But Peter Obi is a man who has been giving money, including the recent trending picture of donating 100 million naira to the Nigerian military. He has been donating millions of naira to hospitals, schools across Nigeria, all heralded, because he is somebody who is committed to giving, and giving to the right channel, and not giving to individuals, but for causes that will benefit the majority of the people. So there is nothing, no consultancy that these people, as well, Bola Tinubu and Atiku, are doing that can be compared to what Peter Obi has done and is still doing. Because it is because of the groundwork Peter Obi has done. That is why he could afford to be outside Nigeria, and things are happening. Major events, million-man matches all over the place. And himself has continued to remain the talk of the town. You know, when former military president Ibrahim Babangida used to say that he is the main issue in Nigeria, I think right now the main issue in Nigeria is Mr. Peter Obi, because of his audacity to change the status quo. I'm sure you will agree with me on this. And thank you for watching this video. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button. Hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you.